So you got the quitclaim deed. Why wouldn't you use a quitclaim deed?
You would not use a quitclaim deed with someone you don't know because there may be liens on the property.
Okay. And what's a lien?
A lien is money owed against the property or
Good.
a person.
Good. And a deed is evidence of that transfer, correct?
That's correct.
So we don't know each other. What kind of deed would you use?
I would use a warranty deed.
Why would you use a warranty deed?
Again, I'm not sure why I would use it, but I'm pretty sure based on what I remember reading, it was a warranty deed.
Okay. You're on the right track. So, well, let's go back to why did you not want to use a quitclaim deed?
I did not want to use a quitclaim deed because there may be liens on the property. The warranty deed may just cover the lien or the search for those things in the title.
Excellent. Good. Now, there's different types of warranty deeds, okay? There's a specialty warranty deed and a general warranty deed.
Okay.
What's the difference?
The general warranty deed covers everything, where a special covers only one thing.
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
You've been doing awesome, but I finally caught you in a bump in the road, which is what we want, right?
Exactly.
Okay, good. So you said, just to review, you said a quitclaim deed is there when you want to immediately transfer interest. And it's a way just to get rid of things, but there's a risk with a quitclaim deed in that there could be liens on the property, correct? And it could be transferred
Correct.
over to the new owner, which is why we said it's good for a father to a son or some other trusted party. So I don't know you. You said use a warranty deed, okay? So warranty acts as a guarantee to the buyer that has the right to sell the property and that the property is free of debts or liens. Okay?
Correct.
Now, a general warranty deed protects the grantee against title defects arriving at any point in time. Okay? A special warranty deed, and here comes to what I was looking for, the difference. The seller's guarantee does not cover the property's entire history. The seller only guarantees against problems or claims created during the seller's ownership of the property.
Okay, well, that was something similar, Joe.
You're right, it was. You got it.
Because I said general covers all and special covers one, so I know that it wouldn't cover, everything. So there's something's wrong in that area.
Yes. So here's what I want to get at, though.
I get it. Thank you. That makes sense. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what I want to get at with that is it has to do with time.
Okay.
So general covers the whole history of the ownership. The special warranty deed covers only the ownership of the seller.
Okay.
All right. And when you want to look at the history of ownership, what do you look at?
What do I want to look at the history of ownership?
Right. So when you get a title company and they want to know, because we just said the general warranty deed goes back many ownerships, right?
Correct.
And there's a certain item that will show the history of ownership. Do you know what it is?
The abstract of title?
Oh, you're very close. Very close.
Title insurance?
Chain of title.
Chain of title, okay.
Yeah, but you're definitely on the right track. An abstract of title is a summary. A chain of title is more specific. A chain of title will show the different people who own it throughout the history of the property. Okay?
Okay.
And obviously that'll be very important for the title company when they're dealing with that general warranty deed.
Okay.
All right? So that was a good one. Okay, what other things you want to go over?
Anything that that's on an exam, because I cannot actually say what I don't know until I'm asked the question.
Okay. Well, then let's do this. Let's go through a whole bunch of concepts together, okay?
Okay.
And we'll just bang through a bunch of concepts and see how it goes.
Okay.
What's the bundle of rights?
The bundle of rights is what a buyer receives once they get title of property.
Good. And what did you say title is?
Title is ownership.
Good. So when you have title, you have the ownership, okay? There's different ways you can own property, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, what's the two general ways you can own property?
Two general ways you can joint tenancy and tenancy in common.
Nope. That's a subdivision.
Wait. You say there's two ways you can own.
Real simple. Don't overthink it.
It's severalty.
Good. Excellent.
Which is one owner, or like co-partners, concurrent partners, or
excellent. Perfect.
Where it's more than two.
Excellent. Good. And to say it in more simple terms, with somebody else or by yourself?
That's correct.
Severalty is by yourself. Concurrent estates is with somebody else.
Okay.
Now, you had mentioned two types of concurrent estates.
That's correct.
And that's why I said back up for a second, because you were mentioning, two types of concurrent estates. What were the two types you mentioned?
Joint tenancy and tenancy in common.
What's the difference?
Joint tenancy, you have to have four interests, like title, insurance on possession, and it's also with the right of survivorship.
Okay, so it's time, title, interest, and possession.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I said insurance. I meant interest.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. You got it. So it's time, title, interest, possession, and the right of survivorship.
That's correct.
So what's tenancy in common then?
Tenancy in common, most of them, they do not own it equally. However, they live in the same property area.
Okay.
They own it together, but they don't have the same interest in it.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure.
And follow me on this one, all right? You got Adam, Bill, and Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They're all joint tenants.
That's correct.
All right? So they took the same time, title, interest, possession. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Adam dies. Okay? Oh, no. What happens to his interest?
His interest is gone to the other two.
You telling me that Adam can't will it to his heirs?
Yes, he can. He can definitely will it to his heirs.
But you said joint tenancy had the right of survivorship.
Okay, wait. Now I'm confused.
Exactly.
Okay.
So does joint tenancy
we're talking about joint tenancy still, right? We're not talking about tenancy in common because you just named three people.
Three people, and they're all joint tenants.
Okay, they're all joint tenants, and they're three people. And if one died, what happens to his interest is what you're asking me.
Yep.
Okay. And they're joint tenants.
Yep.
He has the right of survivorship, so his stuff can go to his heirs.
Nope. So in the joint tenancy, okay, provides that if any one of the joint tenants dies, the remainder of the property is transferred to the survivors.
Okay, that's correct.
So Bill and Sam would get it. So Adam died, Bill and Sam get the property.
That's correct.
Okay. Now in comes a third party to replace Adam who wants to buy in. Okay.
He'd be a tenant in common.
Good. Excellent. Perfect. All right. Good.
Yeah.
So you may see questions like that on your exam where they give you those scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Now you have your property and everybody's living together all happily. Okay. They have a house. Is that house real or personal property?
Our house is real property.
Why?
Because it doesn't move, for one thing. It's just there. So it's land, it's property. It's real property.
Okay, so you're right that it's real property. But I want you to understand more what it's all about. Okay?
Okay.
So you have real property, which generally they say is immovable. Now they say generally. Why do they say generally immovable?
Why real property is generally immovable?
Yeah, why don't they say always immovable?
It's not always immovable because it can become attached to property by any type of method, which will make it real property.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Is there real property that is movable?
Yes.
Like what?
Real property that is movable, like a chandelier, like okay,
that's a good one.
Like blinds.
Perfect. Yeah, or like a pool covering.
Yes, it can be moved.
And what you're describing for me is a fixture, correct?
That's correct.
How do you know something's a fixture?
You know that something is a fixture by the way that it's attached to the real property.
Okay, and what's the acronym for that?
Oh, that's Maria.
What does Maria stand for?
Maria stands for the method, adaptability, relationship, intention, and agreement.
Okay, so adaptability is one that goes with that pool covering or the blinds you mentioned. Because a pool covering is movable, but it's obviously designed for that pool. Okay? I mean, in fact, people move it all the time. You swim in the pool, you take it off. You're done, you put it on. However, it's real property, and that's a great example of something that's real property, even though it's movable. Okay? Now, is a chair personal or real property?
A chair can be personal property.
Okay. I attach that chair to the ground. Personal or real?
It becomes real property, but it can also it can be moved, depending on if it's a trade fixture or not.
Good. So if it's like a barber shop or a dentist or something else that uses it for some business. Okay. And this is why I'm not totally comfortable with the definition of real properties immovable, general personal properties movable. Because as you just proved in our little brief conversation, that's not always the case.
Correct.
So the better way to remember it is personal property goes with a person, real property goes with the real estate.
Correct.
Okay? Now there are exceptions, and if they ask you on the exam, is real property immovable, you really need to look for that word generally.
Okay.
Okay? If it doesn't say generally or sometimes or usually, I don't want you circling it. Because that's one of those tricky, annoying questions.
Okay.
But if it says real property is immovable, that's not right, as you just proved. It's generally immovable and usually immovable. In fact, you can even say sometimes. All right?
Right.
Words like always and never are very scary as you take your exam. Those are what we call absolutes.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean by an absolute?
An absolute is something that's solid, pretty much.
Right, and as you study real estate and as you go on to practice, you'll learn there's almost exceptions to just about every rule, okay? Things are very rarely absolute. That's how lawyers make their money. You may think you broke the law or you may think somebody else broke the law, but lawyers go into that thing and they get paid the big bucks because they look for the little exception with the situation.
Exactly.
And not to get into politics, but that's how rich people always get off, because they hire people to eventually find their little caveat.
Right.
Sorry, didn't mean to get all political on you, but but you know what I'm talking about, right? You know. Okay. So there's almost always an exception to every rule. Okay. Now let's talk a little about agency. Okay. You hire an agent. What do you expect from them?
If I hire an agent, I expect them to find me a buyer.
Okay.
A willing and able buyer.
Before that, what makes an agent an agent?
I guess I'm not understanding the question.
Okay.
What makes an agent an agent?
Right. You'll hear words like loyalty.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the fiduciary.
Yep.
Okay. They need to use care, be obedient.
Good.
Loyalty.
Good.
Disclosure, accountability, and confidentiality.
Excellent. And that's what I was saying you expect before they're finding your house. You basically say, I expect you to be a good person. I expect you to be on my side with whatever happens. Okay?
Exactly.
And there's a legal definition for that. You just define it for agency. Okay? Where if they violate that, they're in big trouble.
Exactly.
So when you hire an agent, you're expecting somebody to basically be on your team.
Yes.
And repeat what you just said, because that was great. So there's certain things that make an agent an agent. What were they?
They need care. They need to be obedient. They need to be loyal. They need to have disclosure, accountability, and confidentiality.
Okay, good. And you mentioned this word fiduciary. What's that all about?
Fiduciary is just the way they're supposed to act. I mean, how they're supposed to treat you.
Basically, they should be putting your interest above their own.
Okay.
And that's not just real estate. Anytime you're hiring somebody, there's supposed to be a fiduciary duty.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got this agent, right? And you want them to list your house. Great. Okay?
Okay.
They list your house. And another agent brings their buyer. Okay? Is this a dual agency?
I'm the agent of the seller, and another agent comes with a buyer. Yep. Is that a dual agency? No.
Could it be?
It could be, yes. But if we're not working for the same brokerage, it cannot be a dual agency.
Excellent. So you hit on the key point I was getting at.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, what you're getting at, whether you realize it or not, and I think you do realize it, is it's really not the agent's contract. It's the broker's contract.
That's correct.
And so we may say, I've never met that guy, and he's bringing the buyer. How is it a dual agency? Because it's not you or him on the contract. It's Broker Bob representing the seller and Broker Bob representing the buyer.
Right. Okay? Correct.
So therefore, it's a dual agency. Is a dual agency illegal?
Dual agency is not illegal, not in every state. Some states it is, but it's not illegal, no.
Why?
Both parties just should know about it.
Excellent.
And it should have an agreement.
That's the key point. Disclosure. Okay. You're going to see a lot of things on your exam where as long as things are disclosed, you're okay with alluding to disclosure. Okay. I can't think of anything where it's okay not to disclose to your clients.
Okay.
And if I am wrong about that, fine, you get one wrong on the exam, But,
right.
But, I mean, generally speaking, like I said, there's exceptions to every rule. But on your exam, it's very rare when they ask about disclosure and you'll say, nah, I don't need to disclose that to the client.
Right.
And I can't even think of an example. But, in my effort of disclosure, I will say that, I could be wrong.
Correct.
Okay? Now, if you don't disclose the dual agency, there is a word for that. Do you know what that word is?
If I do not disclose the dual agency?
Correct. You do not disclose the dual agency. There's a word for that.
I can't think of that word.
That would be called a divided agency.
Oh, okay. Never heard that word before.
Yeah, that's basically when the dual agency is not disclosed, it's a divided agency.
Okay.
Okay? And it's basically the bad form of the dual agency.
Okay.
If you want to call it the evil brother of the dual agency.
Okay.
Okay?
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay, seller A, called seller Adam. All right, let's buyer Bill. Okay, you follow me here? So,
okay.
Seller Adam, let's buyer Bill. Assume that broker Carl was his agent. What type of agency is this?
Seller Adam and buyer Bill has both the same agent?
Right, but follow me on this one. Seller Adam, let's buyer Bill, assume that broker Carl, or whatever I just said, was his agent. This type of relationship example of what?
Implied?
Good. So this is actually called an ostensible agency.
Right, but which is same as implied, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Ostensible authority is that authority which
I just hate that big old word. I just use the word implied because I can't pronounce it.
Yeah. No, it's good. Here, let me give you the technical way. So ostensible authority is the authority which a third person reasonably believes an agent possesses. These are the acts or omissions of the principal. Okay? So they're basically going by act. Okay. Now let me ask you another one. All right? Do you want to sell your house?
Yes.
Let's say no, just for fun.
No. Okay. No, I don't.
Okay, no. You've never spoken to me. I'm an agent in your town. Okay? We've never even met before. All right? And I see your house. and I go see somebody at a party, and I say, you know what? You like that person's house? They're like, yeah. I'll give her $5 million for it. Okay? I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I go to you first and say, hey, guess what? I found a buyer for your house. You're going to say, I don't even know you. Who are you? I didn't give you permission to sell my house. Am I your agent at that point?
No.
Not yet, right?
No, not yet.
You're saying, like, I don't even know you. Well, that's crazy. I can't believe you did that. And you think I'm some jerk going around pitching your house to people, okay? And you're very angry at me. And then I turn to you, but hold on. I got $5 million for it. Then what do you say?
Okay, let's go.
You say, whoa, I just like you a whole lot more, right?
Yes, of course.
Am I your agent now?
Yes, you are.
How?
Because I responded to the action.
There's a word for it I want you to know.
I know what the word is. I just cannot think what is the offense, that word?
That is called agency by ratification.
Ratification. That is it. I have got the right answer when I hit it.
Right. So ratification exists. When I do something, I didn't get any permission from you. All right. Mm-hmm. But after I do it, you're like, that was pretty good. Yeah. I'm not angry at you. You know, that was good stuff. Okay.
Gotcha.
So you ratified that contract. We're we're client and principal. Agent and seller.
Right.
All
gotcha.
Right? So that's a good one for you. All right. What other questions you got? You want to just keep going like we're going?
Yeah, just keep the beat flowing.
Okay. What is zoning?
Okay. Zoning. When you ask that question, it's so many things that could be zoning. Is it taking care of making sure everything is right in the community as far as the products being used, the footage of from the curb to the property. I don't know. I guess I think I know what zoning is, but I guess you need to ask me something else. Sure.
Well, no, let's go through this because you do know, but like we spoke about before, you got to be able to simplify as much as possible.
Okay.
Because, like I said, if I'm your client or somebody taking a test, and I said, "Hey, what's zoning?" You should be able to say, "Simple. Zoning describes the control by the authority of the use of the land." That's it.
Okay.
Right? When I said that, I'm assuming you almost feel like, oh, yeah, I knew that. I could have said that.
Thought I just said that.
Right. It just describes the control by authority to use the land. Okay?
Right.
So what's an example? You live in a house right now?
I live in an apartment.
Okay. Is there a gas station next to your apartment?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm in the middle of the block. It's at the end of the block. It's on a more busy street than on the residential street.
Okay, there, you just said it. You said what I was looking for right there. What'd you just say?
I'm on a residential street.
You're on a residential. Okay.
Right.
That gas station is an SOS zone for commercial. Whether you realize it or not, they designated that gas station to be a significant distance enough so that you can enjoy your property that you're in now.
Correct. Okay.
And that's, thank God for zoning. Okay? Zoning does that. It makes sure things like that are in their appropriate place. And it helps the marketability of the property. Okay? You would not pay as much as you do for your property, whether it's rent or ownership, if it was right next to the gas station, would you?
That's correct.
Correct. And it's one of the things we take for granted living in the United States. If you travel a lot to countries that are less developed, they don't have this. You will see just things built without any plan at all. Things are just kind of just plopped everywhere. If people have enough money, they just put it there. Our country enjoys a certain amount of planning, okay? And a big part of that planning is zoning. It makes residential, residential, commercial, commercial, okay? And zoning is something called a police power. Have you ever heard that before?
Yes.
What's a police power?
police powers are basically what we're discussing right now, the zoning.
Yeah, so when they talk about police power, they talk about general welfare for the health, safety, and general welfare of the community.
Correct.
Okay.
What we're talking as far as like the gas station, that's a police ensure things are not where it's not supposed to be. So everyone enjoy the safety of living wherever they live.
Right. Now, police power is one of the government powers. Do you know what the government powers are?
Is that the Pete thing?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So the police powers, eminent domain, and taxes, correct?
Excellent. Good. Police power, eminent domain, taxation, and this cheat. Okay. Mm-hmm. What's eminent domain?
Eminent domain is when the government takes private property for public use.
Good. What's the process they use to take that property?
Condemnation.
Good. What if they destroy your property, but they don't give you the proper compensation? Because when condemnation occurs, they should be giving you the proper compensation for your property, correct?
That's correct.
What if they don't?
You can sue them, as it called, inverse condemnation or reverse.
Excellent. No, perfect. Excellent. Inverse condemnation. Okay? So you got your police power, your eminent domain. You also have your taxation. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Is property tax a lien?
Yes.
Is it a specific lien or a general lien?
It is a specific lien.
Can you give me an example of a general lien?
A general lien is a lien against personal and real property.
Good. So what would be an example of that?
You're asking for an example of
a general lien.
Did
I stump you on that one?
No, I'm trying to put it in the right words. An example of a general lien would be money owed on, like a mechanic's lien.
Nope, that would be a specific lien.
Okay, wait. Okay, a general lien is at the mortgage. Okay, go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead. Judgment.
A
judgment in court.
A judgment in court. Okay.
A judgment lien would be a general lien. So you have specific lien and general lien. So specific lien, as you said, just goes with the property.
Okay.
A general lien, they're coming after everything.
Everything.
Yeah. General liens are bad. There's voluntary liens and involuntary liens.
That's correct.
Obviously, that judgment lien is involuntary. It's a court order.
That's correct.
Can you give me an example of a voluntary lien?
Obtaining a mortgage.
Good. Excellent. When you get a loan from the bank, that's a voluntary lien. So, yeah. So, at this point, I think you're pretty good to go. I'm pretty impressed with everything you know and the study you've done. There's things you could brush up on for sure, just by trying to put in simpler terms.
Okay.
But you know, I've known a lot of people who've known a lot less than you do who've passed this thing.
Okay.
So, is there stuff you could brush up on? Sure. Do I think you're in a bad spot? No, not at all.
Okay.
So really, I want you, tonight as you go through this stuff, just try and see if you can put it in simpler terms.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I sure will.
All right. So I think we're good to go for today. What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah, so let me know. Send me an email. Let me know how it goes. If it doesn't go the way you want, I'm here for you. We'll work on stuff again. All right?
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay. Talk to you later. Good luck.